Welcome to SimAirport. I am Airport Manager River, and I have not played this game in quite a while if you don't count the last, I don't know, 45 minutes or hour that I've been playing to kind of refresh myself, just so I know at least where a few of the buttons and a few of the things are. And I would like to start a new game, and I don't know about career mode. I think we'll just do sandbox. I'm not 100% sure what the difference is, and I don't want to start from scratch just for the sake of the video. You know, the basics we can always change up and we can decide what we're going to do. We'll start out with 450 in initial funds, and the government grants, if you turn this off, they just give you all the money and whatnot. I don't want that. And so there we go. That's our choices. Now the other thing that starting in sandbox mode does is let us go to like an extra large map, which I really don't know that it makes too much difference. You know, note that property taxes are higher on a larger plot of land. So that is a consideration. I guess we'll accept that as a little bit more of a challenge at that point. And I noticed when you start in career mode, like these things are locked. So I guess you have to like build up to that. So that's one of the things. So let's go back. We'll do, well, you know what? Let's just do large. This series probably not likely to last that long. Depends on how much fun I have with it. So let's start a new game. Okay, here we are. They start us right off with the government grants. So we need to hire at least 2 janitors. You know what, let's pause it just for a second for the sake of taking a look at things. So hire 2 janitors, place, okay, we can do that. Then we get an extra 5 grand. All right, so we need to place 10 bins. So if we take a look at what we have here, if you've never played the game, you have these buses that come here. Then there's also like a train that comes through this. This is like a train track. There's a bus track. So these just keep coming down this way. Now in the future, you can expand this. So let's go to here. I'm sure they haven't changed that, right? Road. See, so in the future, we could put the road over further and do a few things with the road. You can also like rotate this. You know, so that like say you want your drop-offs to have their own separate thing, because otherwise what happens is after enough vehicles you start having traffic problems basically. So the way they're starting us out so close is a little bit cramped in my opinion. So we'll see, but that's a like future me problem. And we have ticketing, so the people can come in this door from the drop-offs, go to the ticketing area, then they can come over here to the bathroom if they need to. So it's important to have, like, this is like an unsecured area. So this, you can't really say it too well, but it says security. So we'll have security people that come in there. And so you need to be able to let them get to the bathroom on both sides of the security zone. And then in addition, you know, you can imagine, and if you've never been to an airport in your life, this is how it works. You go through security, we got more bathrooms. You know, eventually we'll want vending, and obviously I think right away we're going to want some seating and stuff like that so people can wait for their plane and be slightly happier at least. And then we have our baggage claim area down here. Now, you'll see with traffic flow that this, you know, one of the things we're going to want to do is try to keep people separate. That's a big thing about this game, is they will bump into each other a lot. So if you have crossing paths, you want to get these baggage claim people out of the way of the people that want to get on their plane. And right now we kind of have a crossing issue, I remember. So when the game first started out, they didn't have male and female bathrooms. Now, do they have just urinals? Let's just go take a quick look. Oops. So do we have... it would be objects. Comfort. Yeah, they have urinals. So urinals are a little bit quicker. Bathrooms really... Well, can we put like a couple... Yeah, we could put a few urinals in here. Well, let's see. We're not going to be that busy. You really need to get to make money. Like if we're going to spend, I'd rather save some money and put in like another small gate. Now I also wish, I probably should look this up, like what planes can go to a small gate. I thought it used to tell you more clearly somewhere, and I just haven't found it. But in any event, let's go do the things that I know we need to do that won't cost us a small fortune. So what I want to do, we have one ID check stand here, and that's fine for now until we start getting ramped up. let's come here, and I know the first thing I want to do is put in a couple queues, right? So if we come here, this will be that. And I'm leaving it up that way, right? We don't really need a huge one to get started. You know, just a place for them to come in. We can always expand that queue. And then we're also going to want a queue for people coming in. So we'll leave them a little room to be able to go to both things. And then I don't want to go too close to the corner so people can still walk around this way if they need to. So there we go. So now we have those two queues, and we'll put another one. Again, these are just mostly going to be small flights. I think I'm going to put it like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I kind of don't like that. Can I get rid of it? Oh, what happened there? Oh, that's something kind of buggy, huh? Requires one node. All right, so how do I get rid of that? Let's go back over here. Is there a demolish? Oh, no, you know what, queues? Yeah, minus. There we go. All right, so what I want to do is maybe, well, you know what? I don't want it to, you know what? I think I'm just going to do something like a little bit shorter because I want the tail of it to be over this way, right? And I don't want them to be blocking too bad the people that want to come out of the plane. Like really probably should move all of this over a little bit. You know, you want to let the people get out, like I was saying. Now they're going to kind of be crossing, but most of the people should be over here waiting. So speaking of waiting, let's go to comfort because I think it's really important that we give them some bench A's. All right, and we'll leave a little extra room like this in between bench A, and we'll leave a space. And then there'll be another, like a walkway here, a bench, right? So we'll put one back to back here. And like I said, if you've been to an airport before, yeah, and then we'll have one facing here, right? And that'll give us, you know, a decent amount of seating with some room for them to, you know, wander around in there. And then we'll eventually, hopefully, have another gate pretty close that'll help us ramp that up. But let's see, how much does objects? So another small, I think this is just a small gate, right? Now we might even consider like a bigger gate, right? And so how much does that cost? Does it tell us? Where the heck does it tell us? It's got to tell us. There we go, 20,000. That's really not too bad, actually, is it? And if we did this, we could... Well, there we would have to expand our thing, but this isn't too bad. I don't know if we can get a baggage thing in the middle there, though. Yeah, I do like the idea of having two gates right off the bat. Let's go to construction, foundation. All right, we'll just bring that out to the end, even though it probably doesn't need to go that far. All right, and then we'll eventually put like another door right over there, and we can have sort of like a central waiting area for these two gates, and then we can get two flights in, which you really want to start getting flights in, if I remember correctly. So let's come back here. Objects. Is doors under ops? Yeah, large sliding door. I think we just need a regular sliding door. Yeah, we'll put that right there. All right, so people will be able to get in and out of there. We'll worry about that a little bit later. Hopefully they don't build it as too big of a priority. Now, another thing we need to do is, if we come to here, we can hit assign to queue, right? And then if we hover over this, or if we click on it, yeah, see it says assign to that queue. So then we'll come over here and we'll assign to queue so that the people will go there. And then we need to do the same thing for these two. right? This one, that one, good. So that gets that done. Now, we haven't even worked on our thing, but this is really kind of the basics, I think. Well, that's not the basics, but like I said, I really want to get that second thing in even before we start playing time forward. So we need to put down a bunch of bins. So let's start playing time at least slowly. So, and then I think we really want to come down here to manage, and let's, yeah, I don't want to spend too much on this because if we hire and fire people, there's no penalty, but I'd like to get all this going. So let's take it up to 6 instead of 2. Now, part of the problem too is I don't like that they've auto-hired people, and yet we have no flight. So before tomorrow starts, we definitely want to get some flights in. But first, I want to come in and see if we can't. We're not going to complete that contract until we. There we go, garbage bins. Until we can get more people in. But what I want to do is put some of these. Let's put it here. It looks a little bit better. Right, so in each of the bathrooms we'll have a, yeah, I wish you could kind of turn this so it would face up. Right, and we'll put one in there. So that's 4 that we needed. And then we should probably have one, yeah, you know, for like the people that are over here, and certainly maybe a couple over this way. I hate to block that pathway too much. We could put one. Like, you know, if you put them right in the path, they could have problems. Let's put one here. So what's that? 6? Yeah, I guess, you know what, over here shouldn't be in the path too much, but we have one right in the bathroom. I guess, I don't know if people want to go in the bathroom to throw things away. So there's 7. We can always move them. Yeah, you know what, let's put one down in baggage claim, 8. And we'll put another one there, and then another one over here. So I think that that's all of those. Let's come down here and look at the grants. 10 liter, get the PAX satisfaction. Okay, so that's another thing we kind of want to do, I think, is work on decor. And what I'm thinking of is in the middle here, we get some nice decorative bush number 4s. Why can't we place that? 0 in stock. Well, okay. What's this say? Oh, outdoors only. Indoors only. Yeah, okay, here we go. Is this one indoors only? Good. All right, so we'll get a little beautification. So they won't be able to walk through there, but at least they'll be a little bit beautified. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that it doesn't hurt to beautify like the places that they're standing a lot. So if they're sitting in this security line, yeah, let's put it down this way, and then, you know, they're sitting over here by ticketing. All right, that'll give them a little more beauty. Now, another thing they're going to like is this under, no, comfort. Yeah, flight display info. So they need some flight display info. I don't think they need it in baggage claim, but I think it would be nice to have some over by our ticketing. And I know if I were sitting here in the waiting area I would want some flight display info. All right, that's all costing us money. And what else do we need? So we have a lot of stuff, you know, already there. We got our workmen going back and forth, putting stuff together. This is going to be a big project and require like more money. And so the next thing, let's see, we only have one gate right now. And I don't know if we should count on that other gate being done. But let's see. So what you do here is you come in here to flight management, and I'm not sure that there's a benefit to the higher rating other than we're limited because we don't have a higher rating. So I don't think it's necessarily, nothing I ever worried about, though. Honestly, I do tend to pick the higher rated ones. I think I remember doing that in the past. So if we can get Pacific Airlines. Now, another problem that we have is not being able to do night flights. So I think what I want to do almost right away is come up here and upgrade the runway to be able to do night flights. Right, so that'll cost us 25 grand right there. But what that lets us do once that's built is schedule flights for nighttime, which, yeah, if you can run the same equipment 24/7, you're a lot better off. Because you'll notice, like, these people will sit there throughout the night, which I don't really remember. I thought I remember everybody going away, but I'm not sure. Like, see, there's this staff schedule overlay. I don't really remember how to shrink this, right? It's like maybe they just come in at 4. All right, yeah, so do we have to create like another one? And is that just so that we can schedule, like, does it, you know, like 0 people for the nighttime? Let's see. Yeah, so like, believe it or not, like people start arriving at like 4 a.m. So we want, you know, like to kind of limit this at this point until we get nighttime operations going. So, yeah, I think that's reasonable. And that should, I think, cut down on the number of people. If we come to staff, right? Like, I don't think that the staff, like, let's manage staff. No changes. Yeah. The staff cannot be managed. The staff cannot patrol. Okay. So I'm not sure. I mean, that seems like a reasonable thing I did, right? Like, so hopefully these people would go away. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to need to get flights in here. I just wanted to see if we could. Yeah, I don't want to copy the staff. So if I switch this to, can we do ×3? Yeah, that doesn't seem to be affecting that. All right, let's just go with it, and we'll get the nighttime thing going as fast as we can, and I don't know what to say. All right, so let's see. Can we get... Now, we have to balance this out. We don't want to get too busy, but I'm pretty sure we could handle... Oh, that would be nice to accept all of theirs. Oh, that would be a nice one, too. You know what? I think I'm going to get... Yeah. Can we do 4? I don't know. Let's do... I don't know if we're going to be able to get 4 in there. Let's try. I'm just trying to figure out the math here. You know what? Let's try Atlantic because I know we can do those. And I'm going to accept all 3. All right, so we'll come down here and start making a schedule. So what you have to do is you have to come here and you'll see it tells you when it's valid to land that one, right? And then we'll come in here. We could leave a little bit of a gap or not. It sort of depends on, if we don't leave a gap, then we could really mess ourselves up, right? So we're going to accept those 3 flights. And it looks like we could accept at least 1 more morning flight and 2 more. Now, I know I kind of oversimplified that. So 1 more, like we could do Pacific Airlines and accept the 2 that we can get. Right? And then... let's just work that out. So that we could get like another afternoon flight. And we're going to try this. Again, things probably have changed since I did it the last time. Yeah, there's, you know what? We'll do SparkJet, cheapo, 39%. But that also means that they're not as picky, right? So they're not going to be as unhappy with us at that point. So there we go. We have booked it up entirely. So hopefully everybody will be right on top of their game. Now in the future, what we'll do is like with this, when this gets completed and we can, more planes can come in this way, then what we'll do is we'll be able to like get more planes in, right? Because part of the problem is they're going to be sitting in this thing, and you can have planes sitting on the taxiway waiting for a gate. So there's a lot of little micromanaging in this game. All right, so what else do we need to do before we speed up time or anything else? We've got flights. We don't want to build too much until we can start getting a little bit more money coming in. We've got security, which I think will be enough for now. We need to hire janitors, but I'm not going to worry about that until we actually have people. We can take out a loan, but like with many games, that's going to cost you, and you sort of have to have a good plan for getting. I'd rather like get established and get our feet wet before we worry too much about, expanding too fast. Like if you try to, you definitely can get into the point where because all of this stuff costs you maintenance, right? So if you get into a point where you can't keep going forward, I guess you could say, then it's going to cost you, and you can end up losing because you just tried to expand too fast. So what else do we want? Well, we got a little bit of beautification. One thing you can always do is take a look. Yeah, see, all this stuff has to be built before we can really look at too much of it. So here's secure areas. Kind of a lot going on there, but all of this is secured, right? And the reason is because they built a gate fence along here. If you played from scratch, remember to put a fence in, so because you'll get a warning on the radar because this runway needs to be secured, and you'll get a problem there. So escape doesn't close that, by the way. So then, yeah, we won't have any of this. Packs flow until we get there's security. So here's our security zone inside the airport. Oh, you know what we could use? Yeah, let's turn that off. We could use some vending. People like to be able to eat. Maybe we'll put it near the bathroom there. Objects, retail. Right, I don't think we can really afford, but we get drinks, electronics. What do we put in there? That was electronics and food. All right, that'll help people get a little bit of that stuff, and then we can see as they get busy. Escape's not working exactly as I was hoping. And retail. Is there something else? Yeah, book display. I don't want to really get into people. Makeup display. Newsstand is a pretty darn good early game thing, but you kind of have to have enough people to justify it, because it does cost you. It does cost you maintenance, because if nothing else, you have to have people working a lot of those things. Cafe is nice, but we don't have it just yet. We're not ready for that. Decor. Yeah, we could do an arcade, but again, I feel like that's sort of not end game, but it's just, let's get some people in the place. And we'll go to structures. Yeah, we can get the hangar and all that stuff, but there's a whole system in this game about building like a baggage claim area, and I don't think we can afford it. So if we come over, let me just show you. I think it's in utilities. Yeah, so like we can get this baggage hub, but it's like 2,500, and that's not even the biggest problem. The biggest thing is these foundations are 500. If you didn't, we can go down a floor, right? So we could put like a baggage area here, and then I don't know if you guys can see behind there, but this is where the baggage claim area is down here. So we're gonna have to like build foundations underneath. Now it'll sort of auto build them, but we're gonna want like a baggage hub thing. But I think by the time we do that, I just would like to see if we can get our money being a little bit more on the positive side at that point. So let's speed things up a bit here. We have until the next day for all this. Oh, and by the way, your flights, like when we did this flight thing, like it's the next day all of this is going to kick in. So it's not going to be until tomorrow morning that stuff works. Okay, so we're going to have to demolish this. Demolish wall used to be a separate thing. Objects. No. Construction. I don't want to demolish walls and indoor. Or is it dismantle? Objects, roads, and taxiway. There's a difference here. I'm thinking we just want... It must be outdoors. Okay, it didn't cost us anything but time. And then we do have floors, which we probably want to get. I'm just going to do... What do we have in that other area? Oh, we already have bare concrete. Let's do... It looks like one of these bricks. We're just going to do the same bricks there. And then we're going to get in a... You know, I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Just so we can keep these guys kind of busy, right? We need to get in ops, desk agent gate. Which way is this one around? I always get confused. Right, we're going to put that... You know what, we're going to put it to this side. How far did they put it away? I'm going to put it like right there. And we're going to have a queue. Right, Are we waiting for more stuff? Yeah. I was wondering if my queue had hurt that. Alright, so now we need to assign to yeah, I think either one of the... I don't think we have to assign a runway. Let's hover over this. It should tell us... requires 2 taxiways. Okay. Taxiway. Alright, good. So we'll get that in. And then the other thing is we need a gate agent desk, but I don't think we can assign that until we're good to go. Now this one... None scheduled today. It would be nice if we could get that gate up. Now, yeah, because once we get the gate up, let's see. Take our chances. Let's do the planning. Yeah, see, this is where we can get into more flights. Now, the problem is we might run into... Yeah, you know what? Let's slow it down a bit. I'm going to bet on the fact that that's going to be going by tomorrow. All right, let's make this, can we make this wider? Yeah. All right, why can't I see the whole? Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, let's take in, like, I don't want to, like, slam us too hard on the first day, but I think we could do another morning. Can we do PM flights now? Yeah, I think I think we got that upgraded. So that's another whole thing we can do. Well, let's select this one, Aerostar. So they have 2 afternoon. Okay, we can. Oh, because we already have Aerostar flights coming in. So yeah, now we can do nighttime. All right, and what I want to do, put this guy here. Let's put this guy there, and then this is another morning one. So let's try to stagger it a bit, right? Where we'll leave. Right, so we're going to give like an hour in between each of the flights. Like, so this guy could come here. Right, and that guy would come like here, and then we could do another afternoon flight. We're just going to accept one of these. Now, I think we could even do this, but let's see. Pacific Airlines, can we do 3 night times? We're going to try it. We're going for the gusto here. Oh, why do we only get 1? Didn't I say accept all 3? Or is it because they're hidden? Yeah. Oh, maximum flights in a day? Did it say something and I didn't read it? Yeah. No available flights. I think it's because we don't have a control tower. Which is okay. Let's spend our money on other things. Why are you flashing at me? Does it tell me if I just hover? You are missing some staff. Okay, yeah, so we need another one of these in order to work that other thing, right? All right, so now we need right, and then we're going to assign it to that queue as well. I remember that thing that clicking on this and opening this has constantly annoyed me because I'd rather right click. But there we go. So we got that assigned right. Is this one assigned right? Yeah, but these people can just wait, even though we probably, because we did that, we probably want some more benches, and it looks like we can get a row of them in. We're down, we've still got some money. So let's do comfort. Definitely, people like their benches. Yeah, let's leave 2. All right, and then probably we'll go with this and see how it is. Again, I don't mind saving some money until we start seeing some profit too. We don't need to spend every bit. Now we could probably give them a little bit more decor. We'll stick with the red. All right, we'll try to be symmetric about it. And how about a little bit more flight information? I don't know that it makes any difference which way that faces. I think it's just an area effect. There we go. So we got flights coming in at all times. But let's see. One thing I wanted to do was, and I probably, well, we'll see. Let's, you know what? No, let's take one last look at this. So what is the problem here? What are you yelling at me about? Yeah, we must do an ATC tower, which we'll do, right? And we might as well just spread this out a little bit, right? So that they're not, and as a matter of fact, just in case, right, we'll spread out our nighttime shift for tomorrow so that we're not jamming them up. And I think we can even do this. I think it's like the arrival time. Yeah, that's not the worst idea. All right, that should make things a lot easier. Yeah, we can even move this back. Yeah, so if we tried to put it here, all right, we kind of overlap that into there, and that way we're not slamming ourselves quite as hard. And first thing in the morning, it's okay. Like, you want them a little more spaced out as the day goes on, right? So in other words, you know, like, they can be pretty busy because there's no one else there ahead of them at that point. Like, nobody's going to be there at 5 in the morning type thing. All right, so let's speed up some time, and we'll wait until we start seeing our first passengers come in. Now, why are you? Yeah, you're going to keep yelling at me. Well, we could do a control tower. I think that's not, is it in here? Oh, no, I just saw it. Structures, I think it is. Yeah, you know what? I don't want to put it right there. It's the kind of thing that, yeah, too close to a taxiway. It's the kind of thing that can just be in the way no matter what. if we ever extend that runway, and I don't want it in the way of that, I think I'm not going to put it like maybe out here. All right, we'll put it as close to that as we can. Like, I don't think that would get in the way. If we could have, depends on where we put our runways and all that stuff, but there we go. That's not overly cheap, but that'll be better. And that'll let us get some more flights in here. But there you go. So see, the big key from, now again, they could have changed the whole dynamics of the game. But in the past, the big key was getting like many flights in per day. Oh, which, speaking of which, there's a way we can, not research, operations. Oh yeah, you know what? We should get construction. And I'm going to get finance too. They used to have finance to be able to get any kind of loans, but I think we get better loans. Yeah, commercial pricing. So we're going to jack up the price, to like $30 and right. And then that'll get us a little bit of extra money because each of the flights you get paid for like the passengers they bring. Now, if you jack that up too much and you don't provide for it, oops, let's slow down. And let's just see how things are going, right? Look, so see, you can see people are wanting and having to wait a while for that stuff. And then the problem is if they wait too long before the boarding happens, right, then they're not going to get on their plane in time because we're not getting them through security and all fast enough. And the problem, like, some people get there early and wait, but like when we've got this jammed up like we do, it's a problem because there's people coming in for this flight, but the ones haven't made it onto their plane yet. So they will wait until till 8 o'clock, right? So we have like plenty of time. This isn't worrying me too much. And remember I said, like, that's one of the reasons we scheduled these flights close in the morning, because nobody was in line to start. If we don't have enough space throughout the day, that's going to cause a lot of problems. But hopefully, yeah, we've got almost all of them in there. Somebody's arriving late, just annoying people in life. There we go. Aerostar is here, so Aerostar is going to come back. Yeah, and see some of these people, hopefully they're all there. Now, I was wondering if there's a way, one pack's en route, so there's somebody who's not, one last person needs to get into the security before this plane will take off, which is not a problem, right? I mean, it's good if they can take off early, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world. But, let's just see what happens here. Like, in other words, if they can get out of the way, then the next flight can get in right on time. Things run more smoothly. There's no particular, problem. Now, at some point, though, they may just say, to heck with it, we're leaving. And in the game before, I do kind of remember, we got one en route? Yeah, pack's in line. There we go. So that last passenger should get on there. Get on the plane. Oh, I don't know if you guys could see it because I had this open. There he is. Get in there. All right, so this guy's 100% boarded on time, right? 7:08. And there we go. So now those guys are out of the way. So if you look at our schedule here, see, so we got that Atlantic flight. The Aerostar is back to back, but it's going to be like an extra bit of time for this Pacific Airlines flight to come in. So we should be okay. Now let's see. Let's take a look at our finances. All right, credit report. Yeah, there used to be... Oh, you know what? We need janitors. So hire 2 more janitors. right? So we completed our government grant there, even though it cost us a little bit of money. We got a little bit of upfront money, then we got 12 grand for it. So there you go. That's the basics from what I remember. When I say the basics, the real basics of what we can do. Now, again, you might say, well, you got a lot of money left, but you know, we're going to real quickly run into problems, and then you just don't want to. It's not the kind of game. I mean, any game, you don't want to have low money. Oh, there we go. I knew there was a way we could look at what was. So the income for the day is 23,000, which isn't bad, right? Terminal usage. So if you think about it, we doubled the amount of runway usage and terminal usage, which we made 50 grand, right? If we hadn't done that, we probably would have lost money so far, right? Because we only made 23,000. So definitely take a look at that. I was kind of luck that I, you know, got it double in a sense, but you know, that's the difference between making a profit. Now we also need to get these people a little bit happier, but then you can hover over here and see what's, you know, rest, bladder, boredom. They're kind of bored. And we could do more with like the baggage claim area and other forms of entertainment for them in here. But I'm going to pause it, and then we will come back for the next episode and start talking about what it is. I may play a little bit of time in between just to maybe get through today to see how we do on day 2. But I won't do anything dramatic or exciting. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like or even consider subscribing, but especially if you want to see this go on. Like, I will tend to continue a series more if I get a bunch of likes, right? Even if the view count's not that great, but I see, hey, I mean, if half the people liked it that watched it, I'm a lot more likely. Because I can't tell as a YouTuber whether you just are some dude that clicked on it for 3 minutes and said, the heck with that, or not. But if you leave a like, then I know, hey, somebody watched it enough to want to see the second one, I would hope. That's what I take the likes to mean to a large degree. All right, guys. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.